Here we go.
Perfect.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining to learn about the Hefty ReNew recycling program. My name is Elise Roloff, and I'm the outreach specialist for Hamilton County Resource, which is our county's solid waste management district. Now, it's my pleasure to introduce Hannah Hanghold, and she is Rumpke's Education and Community Relations Assistant. So she'll be telling us all about the Hefty ReNew program today. Take it away, Hannah.
All right, I'm going to share my screen. Alrighty. Elise, can you see it?
I can see the screen, and there you go.
Perfect. Well, hi, everyone. As Elise said, my name's Hannah Hanghold. I'm the education specialist at Rumpke. So my position is kind of interesting. It's entirely education focused. So I spend a lot of time educating groups like this on the topics of waste and recycling, how to do them properly, how we do them at Rumpke, and kind of why we do them the way that we do. So my position's a lot of fun. I don't really ever spend time in a desk. I'm always, out in the community educating groups about those topics. So today I'm here to talk about the Hefty ReNew program that we have rolled out in partnership with the Hefty brand. I don't anticipate this is going to take the full hour, so you guys will get a little bit of your day back. But without further ado, I just wanted to get started. So I'm sure everyone is familiar with the Hefty brand. That's the brand that makes, styrofoam takeout containers, and they make some plastic dinnerware and things like that. They make trash bags and grocery bags and kind of all of those plastic film materials. So this program was started by Hefty as kind of a way to keep all of those items that unfortunately they had created going to the landfill. So we have partnered with them to kind of roll out this program in the area that we live in. Borderline how the program works, and kind of what is it. So the Hefty ReNew program is a convenient way for Rumpke's customers to recycle more plastics. We wanted an option that was going to be really convenient for people to do and participate in, something that they could participate on a curbside level, something that they didn't necessarily have to bring their material somewhere to get it recycled. So this is an option to participate curbside. And it's an opportunity to recycle hard to recycle plastics and give those plastics another life, as opposed to just sending them right to the landfill. I always reiterate with people that this Hefty ReNew program is a complement to curbside recycling. So if curbside recycling works for you, and you want to keep doing that, and you're not interested in the Hefty ReNew program, you are not required to participate. I assume if you're on this call today, you're probably interested, but I just want to kind of get that out there. That it is not necessary to participate in this program, but it's a really great way to recycle all of those hard to recycle items. There are a couple different cities that this program is rolled out in. So it started in Omaha, Nebraska in 2016 is when they kind of started this program. After that, they opened it or started the program in Boise, Idaho in 2018, Ada County, Idaho in 2019, Cobb County, Georgia in 2018, Metro Atlanta in 2021, Chattanooga, Tennessee in 2022. But in Tennessee, they only have the drop-off option. They don't have a curbside option. And then we were next in 2023. We rolled this program out in November. Currently, right now, it's available in Cincinnati, but you'll see it on that on this map. It kind of says Ohio Valley, and that's because we service, Cincinnati, Indiana, Kentucky. Right now, this program is only offered in the Cincinnati service region, but actually in the next, it's the date, the 26th. So in the next couple of weeks, it's going to be available in kind of the surrounding areas. So Dayton and the kind of surrounding areas of that way. Since the program's inception, they've been able to divert 2,600 tons of plastic from the landfill. I want you to think about the fact that, yes, that number might seem low, 2,600 tons of plastic, but you also have to think about the plastic that goes into these bags, and I'll talk about it a little bit more. It's very filmy, it's very light, it does not have much weight to it at all. So 2,600 tons of this type of plastic is a really significant number. And then by the end of this year, it'll be available in 2.3 million or available to 2.3 million households with access to curbside recycling. So it's really kind of spreading out a little bit, and hopefully it will be available in more places soon. So how it works, the first part of the process is purchasing the bags. So you purchase the Hefty ReNew bags from Kroger. Currently is the only place that sells them, and then within the next 2 weeks, you'll be able to see them in Meijer, Walmart, Target, Ace Hardware, Lowe's. All of the places that you purchase your trash bags typically. So you purchase the bags. And you fill them up with hard to recycle plastics. Once that bag is full, you tie that bag up and you drop it right into your regular recycle bin. If you have a bin or a cart, or even if you drop your recycling off in a drop box, you put that tied Hefty bag in the recycle bin, cart, or drop box. We take it to our facility and we sort the bags out of there. The nice thing about these Hefty bags is that they're bright orange. You can't miss them. When they come to our recycling facility, we pull them off of the line, and then we bale them all up together. So I want you to think about the fact that we don't open these bags, we don't sort the material in these bags, we just pull them off the line. And we send them to companies that turn them into something new. And we'll talk a little bit more about that later. So what can be accepted in the Hefty bag? And this is probably the reason why most of you are on here. All items that go into this Hefty bag, they should be clean and dry, and we don't want foil lining. So that'll kind of come into play with some of the things that I mentioned. So let's just start with the kitchen pantry side. So we'll take candy wrappers and chip bags and granola bar wrappers and things like that, but we don't want the ones that have a foil lining in them. So when I say chip bags, I think about tortilla chips and pretzels and things like that don't have the foil lining on them. Whereas like a Lay's potato chip has that foil lining on the inside. Same thing with like granola bars. So, as long as they don't have the foil lining, they're okay. Cereal box liners. So all of those plastic bags that come inside of a box. So cereal boxes, dry mixes, cakes, brownies, things like that. All of your fresh and frozen vegetable and fruit bags can go in there. So I think frozen peas, something that's in a bag like that. But on the fresh side, carrots or different vegetables will come in a plastic bag, and that bag can be put in there. But also other frozen foods. So, chicken nuggets, tater tots, French fries, things that come in a plastic bag, those can all be put in this Hefty bag. Foam egg cartons. So like the styrofoam egg cartons can be put in here. Plastic pet food bags, but only the plastic ones. So my dogs eat Iams, and Iams is more of like a cardboard bag. So we only want the plastic ones. Salad bags. So I think about, like the Dole salad kits that comes in a plastic bag, shredded cheese packages, snack food bags, and then like stand-up pouches, which are, you don't see them super often, but it's like a plastic pouch that's able to stand up on its own. Sometimes things like granola will come in there. On the office and shipping side, all of your bubble wrap, your clear plastic over wraps, your foam peanuts, air pillow packs, things like that can all go in there. One thing that's really exciting about it is that your mailers, so like your Amazon mailers and your things that come in like a shipping mailer wrap can go in there. But also the clear plastic overwrap that comes around water bottles or Gatorade bottles and things like that. On the dining side, all of your styrofoam cups and your styrofoam takeout boxes, the plastic colored cups. I want you to think about like red Solo cups and like the colored party cups. Those can all go in this bin. Those are made out of polystyrene, plastic straws and stirrers, and then plastic utensils. So all of like your plastic dinnerware, forks, knives, spoons. And then this last category is kind of one of the most exciting for me, at least, is the storage and kind of cleaning side. So all of your Swiffer pads can actually go in here, like your dry or your wet ones. A lot of people think that those are made out of fibers, but they're actually made out of plastic. So those can go in here. Food storage bags. So your Ziploc bags can go in this bin. Plastic food wrap, so cling wrap and things like that. And then plastic grocery bags. So all of your Kroger bags, all of your Meijer bags, Target, Walmart, wherever, those plastic grocery bags, those can all go in this bag. Let me go to the next slide. Sorry, I'm trying to move around the controls. This bag right here, this slide just has kind of some images of some of the things that go on here. So I mentioned all of these, but just to give you a little visual, and Elise will send all of these to you after. I actually have this one hanging up above my Hefty ReNew bag so that I get a reminder of everything that goes in there. This slide are things that are a little less common that you wouldn't necessarily think about. So if you look on the spring and summer party supplies side, you're going to see things like ice bags that can all go in here. Halloween trick or treat trash. So the plastic grocery bags and the candy wrappers, back to school lunch waste, holiday wrapping, fall gathering. You get the idea, but all of this material is available or acceptable to go in that bag. We put everything in those bags, we tie the bags up, and then they go into the Rumpke recycle bin. When they come to us, we sort them off the line and they get sent to end users that make a couple different things with them. The first and the most preferred outlet is mechanical recycling. So they're making plastic building materials, drainage materials, composite wood products. Under that, you'll see this first picture that kind of looks like a Lego. That's called a hydro block. And what they're using that for is for drainage applications as opposed to using a cinder block. And a cinder block works great, right? But this is giving that plastic another life so that we can use it in another application as opposed to it just going right to the landfill. And then the composite wood products, that's something that a lot of people don't necessarily realize, but one of the main ones that we think about is Trex decking. So like the fake wood looking plastic deck that is made out of this material. They use it a lot of times to make park benches. It's really desirable to build decks and things with because it's smooth. The next category is the advanced recycling, so plastic to plastic. And then this last one is alternative fuel. That is the last resort. And it's only due to extraordinary circumstances. So the only reason that they would really use that application is in the event that there was contamination in that plastic and they're not able to mechanically or advanced recycle it. So that's kind of the last resort. And I don't believe any of our material has gone there. So this next slide, this just gives you a better visual. So you can see in this first picture, the drainage materials, they're actually putting those plastic cinder block looking things into the ground to be used for drainage. This picture all the way to the right, you can see the sustainable building materials. So that Trex decking. And then in the center, the park bench, that's an application that they're using that Trex decking material for. Just a fun fact is that it only takes 38 of these bags to make one bench. So it's really giving that plastic another life. This is a map of where those end users are. So you can see they're kind of spread throughout the country. Most of our material is going to Pennsylvania. That's the closest outlet to where we are geographically. And so that's what makes the most sense. So most of that material or almost all of that material is getting turned into new products like the ones that I just showed you. I wanted to include this slide in here because I think it's important for people to realize this was a survey that went out before we rolled out the Hefty ReNew program in Cincinnati in November of last year. 84% of the people that answered that survey said that they definitely would participate or probably would participate. So that's been kind of cool to see. And then the top reasons that people said that they wanted to participate were that they liked to recycle and support recycling programs, and that they wanted to help the environment and the planet. And it's been pretty cool to see the kind of rollout in Cincinnati. I will say, like I mentioned before, Hefty has rolled this program out in other cities across the country. They had seen the best start in Cincinnati. So it's been pretty cool to see how many people have actually participated in this program. One thing that I did want to kind of touch on a little bit is that I hear sometimes that people don't want to participate because of the cost of the bags, and I do understand that. I will say the box of bags has 20 bags contained in it. Those 20 bags will probably last you an entire year. Um, the cost of the bags is about $6.99 per box. So that $6.99 per box will last you the entire year. There has to be a cost at some point to the bags because we don't want people to just purchase them as opposed to purchasing regular trash bags and just use them for that purpose when the trash bags are out of stock and things like that. We want there to be a buy-in to this program, and so people are actually using them for what they're intended to be used for. We want to make sure that people are putting the correct things in the bags so that we can recycle them the correct way. So on that left side, you can see that the bag cost covers, the bag manufacturing, the processing cost, the freight cost for the collected plastics, retail marketing, things like that. So $6.99 for 20 of them. And then on the right side, it's just kind of a fun little graphic to show you that a carton of bags costs less than a month of Netflix, a dozen donuts from Dunkin' Donuts, a turkey sandwich meal from Subway, or 2 bottles of orange juice. So you can see that a whole year of bags will cost you a, a small fee. On a personal level, I think that's the last slide that I had here. And I was going to stop sharing my screen, but on a personal level, I also wanted to kind of talk a little bit about this program. I have been recycling through the Hefty ReNew program at my house as well. So I participate in curbside recycling and I participate in the Hefty ReNew program. I'm not on the composting train yet, so I haven't been there. But through curbside recycling and through this Hefty ReNew program, at my house, there are 2 of us. We make about a half of a trash bag every week of trash, typically less than that. You'll notice that with this program, the majority of the things that you throw away and cannot put into your curbside recycle bin can actually go in this Hefty ReNew program. Just a fun little tidbit is that I just got a new couch in my house. It's a big U-shaped sectional. All of the packaging material that couch came in were able to be recycled. So I didn't have to send a single material to the landfill. Everything fit into those Hefty bags. Now I filled up 5 Hefty bags, but I didn't have to send anything to the landfill, which was kind of exciting to think about. And it's a really cool an alternative to getting rid of those plastics as opposed to just sending them to the landfill. Elise, I see some questions popping up.
So we've got a few, and
All right.
I answered a couple of them, but I'm going to
Okay.
go through and just confirm with you some of these.
Okay.
And
I figured that presentation would be a little bit quick.
yeah, and I think I appreciate that. And like I said, I'm going to be sending out the recording, and I'll send out some extra resources that Hannah had on her PowerPoint.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Use those.
One
as
thing
well.
that I always and I try to stress to people is that yes, it is confusing when you first start participating in this program, but the more you participate, the easier that it gets, and it almost becomes second nature. You know, we all had to learn how to participate in curbside recycling and what goes in that bin. But then once we learned it, it became second nature. So I always encourage people to try it out, try a bag, see how you like it, and try it out. You might surprise yourself.
Yeah. Okay. So, and I've seen a few of these things, so I'll get to the one that
Okay.
we're going to start with this easy question.
Okay.
Is Norwood included in this program?
Is what?
Norwood included in this program?
Yes. Yep, yes. It is included. It's the entire Cincinnati service region, and all of you on this call shouldn't have to worry about it. In the next week or 2, it'll be rolled out in Dayton and the surrounding areas. So pretty sure everyone on this call will be able to participate. Yeah.
Great. I have family in Dayton, so that'll be very cool.
Yes, it is. We're kind of moving up the state. So
yeah. Stephanie asked if the utensils, if plastic utensils are still in their plastic wrap, can they just all go in for whatever reason if they have to be
Yep.
given
Yep,
away?
they can. The only thing that I say with that is that sometimes in those utensils have a napkin and like salt and pepper
Mm,
in the packet.
yeah, good
So we
point.
don't want that material, but if it's literally just like a plastic with a fork, knife, and spoon in it, then yeah, that can go just right in the bag.
Perfect.
Yep.
Thank you. And the next question, oh, CJ, yeah, CJ, I did email you about the Amazon bags, the plastic Amazon bags. There's a couple questions about this.
Oh yeah.
So she noticed that you said that we could put those plastic Amazon, the all plastic Amazon
Yep.
bags
Yep.
into the Hefty bags.
Yep.
But she said she noticed that I had also told her that those can be taken to the Cincinnati Recycling and
They
Reuse.
can. They
That
can.
is correct. And this kind of brings up a point that Hannah and I have talked
Yeah.
about for a while, that
Yep.
there are multiple overlaps between what can go to the Cincinnati Recycling and Reuse Hub and what can go in the orange Hefty bags.
Correct.
For the most part, you can see the very specific list. There are a lot of things that could go either way. It is up to you, wherever you want to take them. It doesn't matter. It's just different options.
Yep.
And if it's good for you to take it to the hub, great. They can make some money off of it at points, which is amazing. And there's another, the alternative with the orange bags is that you can do it without having to stress about taking it anywhere else, especially for those who can't leave their house, or maybe they can't do the drop-off times at the hub. This is just another alternative, just giving people different options. So
And,
yeah, CJ,
and to
you
kind
could
of
do
piggyback on that, at Rumpke, we partner with the hub. The hub are our friends. We partner with them. We understand that this program, we're able to accept a lot of things that the hub can accept as well. We wanted to give the option for people to participate in it from anywhere, like Elise said, give them the option. So if the hub works for you and you're able to drop your material off there and you're happy with doing that, please continue to do so. This is just an alternative so that you can participate curbside. For example, where I live, I'm not able to easily access the hub. It's just not feasible for me to drive to get there. So this program, I'm able to participate curbside. But if you take your things to the hub, please continue to do that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Anna. Okay, we've got quite a few coming in. So
okay, I see
buckle
that.
up.
I see the number popping up.
Yeah, buckle up. Okay, here we go. So next thing is, a lot of packing peanuts are cornstarch. Is there messaging if those are okay or not?
Those are not actually styrofoam, like you said, those are cornstarch. So we don't necessarily want those in the bags. A lot of times there'll be like a little slip, or at least I've seen in the boxes that have those packing peanuts to say that those peanuts are cornstarch. But we don't want the cornstarch ones in the bags, unfortunately. So yeah, that becomes a little bit hairy there, but yeah, we don't want the cornstarch ones.
Yeah.
Those actually you can just dissolve in like your kitchen sink.
I don't know if I want to promote that too much.
No, the cornstarch ones, that's like a way to get rid of them. Yeah, you can just dissolve them.
Okay, the next question from Katrina is the slide that mentioned food plastic wrap. Can you clarify about that? I thought that you couldn't recycle saran wrap.
Not in curbside recycling, but in the Hefty ReNew bag, you can recycle that plastic over wrap. Yes.
Right.
So that all can be.
So you would tie that up in the orange Hefty bag.
Yep.
And the thing with those is once that's all separate in the orange Hefty bag, then it can go with your curbside recycling and get sorted away.
So that's why I like to mention that this program is a complement to curbside recycling. So yes, curbside recycling, we don't want anything bagged. We want everything loose. But with this program, we want it in the orange bag. It's got to be in the bag. So you can't just take all of the items that I mentioned that are acceptable in the orange bag and just put them in your recycle bin loose. It's got to be contained in that bag. Yeah.
Okay. The next one is, I recycle so Raymond recycles bags to Kroger, including a number of items in this program. Do you think it's better to continue with taking them to Kroger or switch to maybe the Hefty or the hub, depending?
I don't think there's necessarily a preference. It's whatever kind of works best for you. If you put those in the drop box at Kroger and they take them to get recycled, that's great. That's an avenue for them there. It's a little bit more extra work to, save your bags, take them up to Kroger and drop them in those drop boxes. But if you're happy with doing that, continue to do so. This is just an option that you could kind of save yourself the trip. But if that works for you, then there really isn't a preference on, whether one is better than the other.
Okay. And let's see. Okay, Carrie is asking, Carrie from the hub. So she's asking about some colored party cups and how some colored cups are now number 5 plastics.
Correct.
Can those go in the curbside or should those go in the orange bags?
So the plastic cups are really hard because the things that can be put in curbside are like the takeout cups and things along that nature. And I hate to, say a brand necessarily, but it really is the solo cups that are the ones that we can put in this bin. I have moved to purchase, when I'm purchasing those plastic cups for, parties and things like that, I've moved to purchase the Kroger brand ones and things like that. Sometimes they're pink or blue or green, but you can still see through them. And those are number 5. Those are acceptable in curbside recycling. So I hate to, put a brand out there, but it really is only the solo colored party cups that can go in this bag as opposed to curbside recycling. It's the red party cups per se. When you crush them, if they crack in half, that's polystyrene and not polypropylene. So yeah.
Okay,
and it gets confusing there. Yeah.
Usually does. Okay, so the party cups, if they're number 5 plastic, can go in the curbside recycling.
Correct.
And then if they are those number 6 solo styrofoam, polystyrene cups that crack, those are going to go in the orange bags.
Yep.
Okay. Next question. PLA. Ooh, compostable plastics. What's the deal with those? Can they go anywhere?
They cannot. Those have to be thrown away. So the compostable plastic material, the thing with those, and you see them pop up, it looks like plastic, but it's compostable cups and forks and knives and spoons and plates and takeout containers. Those all have to go in the trash. They are compostable, but they are only compostable at a commercial composting facility. They're not compostable in your backyard compost. They're not necessarily compostable in the landfill. They have to go to a commercial composting facility. I've kind of been telling people to, if you're not going to take them to a compostable or a commercial composting facility, we would almost prefer that you stick with a plastic or a paper cup that isn't compostable and that can be recycled. But unfortunately, those compostable materials, if you're not going to take them to a commercial composting facility, they've got to be thrown away in the landfill.
Thank you.
Unfortunate. And I know it's kind of misleading because a lot of times those compostable utensils and cups and things, they've got the recycle symbol all over them and they're green and you think that they're great for the environment, but if they're not disposed of properly, unfortunately, they're just the same.
Okay. Yeah. Next question. Is Northern Kentucky included in the current service area?
They are. Yep.
Yes, Emma.
Yep. That's why on that map, we kind of put Ohio Valley because it was Cincinnati is geographically in such an interesting space that even when the Hefty team came in to promote or came in to talk about the program, and we were it's Cincinnati, but it's also Northern Kentucky and Southern Indiana, and we're kind of right in the middle of everything. So yes, you can participate in Northern Kentucky.
Perfect. That's very good news. Okay, next question. We're rolling. We have a few more. Okay. This person lives in Madeira and Republic picks up their recycling. Do they need to talk to Republic to check on if they will take those Hefty bags?
Correct. Yes, they have to talk to Republic. as to whether they will take those bags or not. Yeah, unfortunately.
So Republic will take it to the Rumpke MRF, the sorting facility, but
Correct.
we
So
have to make sure that Republic
correct.
understands they can put them with the recycling. So that
Yep,
would be something
correct.
to talk to them about.
So the Republic material does come to us. It comes to Rumpke, and it goes to our recycling facility, just like their material. Their trash goes to our landfill, but it's kind of up to Republic on whether they're going to pick up those bags or not. So yeah, I would reach out to them and ask them. Yeah,
Okay.
unfortunately, it's kind of a gray area there, and so.
Okay. And then next thing, do we need to remove labels from plastic shipping bags?
No, you don't need to. No.
Easy enough.
Yep.
I'm typing some of these to make sure. Okay.
Yeah.
The next person, oh, they're thrilled that you're offering this program. But okay, so this person says their daughter is using these bags and she wouldn't do anything before. So that's awesome. That's really great,
Yeah,
Carrie. Thanks for
it
sharing.
is really exciting. And we've seen a lot of people that have been pleasantly surprised with this program. They started recycling curbside. They were a little apprehensive about the orange bag program, but once you start to participate in it and you kind of get the hang of it and you understand it, it's pretty easy. And the amount of waste that's diverted is crazy to think about. I mean, like I said, I fill up a half of a trash bag, if that, every week. Some weeks I'm like, do I even put my trash out on the curb? Because it would take forever to fill up that can. So it's pretty cool.
The next one, and I'm starting to type an answer here, is no number one clamshells in the orange bags, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so no number one clamshells in the orange bags. However, we know that clamshells can be taken to the Cincinnati Recycling and Reuse Hub.
Yeah.
So please
So
take it to the hub.
if you do not take your material to the hub, then clamshells, like your berry containers, those have to go to the landfill. But if you participate in taking your material to the hub, take your clamshells there. But they cannot go in curbside recycling and they cannot go in the orange bags either.
Okay, the next one is from Pete, and he has 4 items that he's checking on.
Okay.
So clamshells, we just answered.
Okay.
Hummus containers and lids.
Those can go curbside.
Hummus containers and lids can go on the regular curbside loose recycling.
Yep.
The next one is deli items like soup or potato salad in those kind of round containers.
Can go curbside. Those are a tub. Yep.
Those are curbside tubs. Perfect. Yep. And the last thing is plastic jars, such as peanut butter jars.
Yep, those can go curbside as well.
Curbside, but make sure it's rinsed out as much as possible.
Yeah, peanut butter is a hard one, like peanut butter and Nutella and things like that. It's a hard one. What I do with mine, and you might be able to adopt this in your house, is that if I'm going to run my dishwasher anyways, I put those peanut butter jars in the dishwasher just to clean them out because it's almost impossible to clean them. Yeah, sometimes the dishwasher melts them and they kind of shrivel up a little, but that's fine. So if that works for you, do that. But those can go curbside. Yeah.
Okay, the next question is a related question about, a related cup question about curbside.
Okay.
Are the small bathroom-sized Dixie cups that are paper, are those okay to put in curbside or do they need to be larger?
We would prefer that they were larger. The problem with those small materials, so the rule of thumb that we say is if it's smaller than like a Post-it note or a credit card, it's too small to put in your bin. The issue is that it falls through the cracks in the machines, or falls through the cracks in the truck. A lot of times it ends up in our glass stream. So we would prefer that those small items just be thrown away as opposed to recycled, unfortunately.
Okay.
They're just too tiny.
Okay, the next question, Cher asked this, and I'm pretty sure you answered this a little earlier, but confirming. Can you put the Hefty bags in public recycling drop-off dumpsters?
You can. So if you recycle through a drop-off program, you are able to put these through or right into those dumpsters or the drop-off containers. We are aware that some of the dumpsters we have converted so that they have like slots on them for bottles and cardboard and things like that. That was to prevent contamination before we rolled out this Hefty program. And so we're working on getting those containers changed out with a container that we can put the Hefty bags in instead of, I don't know if you've seen them, but some of them have like small slots where bottles go in one and things like that. So yes, long story short, yes, you can recycle them in a drop box. Yeah.
And next question is, I'm answering the parts of it, but the one I need you to answer, Hannah, is how far out do you go in Northern Kentucky? CJ has friends in Walton. Do you go out that far?
I'm not sure. Hang on just a second. Let me look. I'm not sure about Walton. I might have to get back to you on that one. I don't believe Walton is able to participate.
Okay. We'll get back to you on Walton in just a minute, CJ.
Yeah.
I'm going to scroll through. There's a few more questions left. For those of you who have had your questions answered and you're done, feel free. You can get off at any time, but we're going to go through and answer all the things and make sure you're confident in this program before you leave today. That's the goal.
Yeah.
If you feel confident, go for it. Get the rest of your day back.
Trying to look up the answer to that. I know I have the list of counties. Do we got some more questions?
Yes. Would you like me to get more while you're looking, Hannah?
Sure.
I'm going to try to answer some of these. So Laura, your question I'm going to answer. This doesn't have to be a Hannah answer. Laura said that her home, and this is maybe a issue that others struggle with, her home is small, so she's got a limited space to work with. So she's wondering for any tips of how to keep her various trash and recycling bags organized and accessible. So one of the things that I used to do, Laura, when I was in a small apartment, I put a little bag under my sink for the hub, specifically for stuff that I could take to the hub. And I put a little box in one of my like pantry. I had it on a pantry shelf, and I had a little cardboard box that I put my recycling in, and I stuck that in the box, and then just kind of took more trips to the recycling bin as needed. And I just filled it up. And once that little box was filled up, I would go recycle and do that. And then when it comes to the orange Hefty bags, I would put those also, if possible, under the sink, because they hold things that can be compressed pretty easily. So if anything, if you can fit anything in little cabinets or small spaces, and then just fill it up as much as possible and kind of compress it, that would be my biggest recommendation for you.
That's what I usually tell people, to try to just do it under your sink if you have room. The things that go in this bag are so flimsy that you can really pack them in there. So a lot of times, what we were doing for a little bit was just a small like bathroom trash can, like the tiny trash can, the plastic ones. We just had that under our sink, and that, I mean, it would take a week and a half to fill up that little trash bag once we packed it in there super tight. To the question that was asked before about their friend participating, the counties in Kentucky that we are offering this are Boone, Kenton, and Campbell. So I'm not exactly sure where the area. I don't remember what area they were asking about. Do you?
Walton.
Yeah. So if it just Boone, Kenton, and Campbell are where we're offering this currently.
Okay. And final question, I believe, from Angie: is there a limit of the Hefty bags that can be put in, like the recycling curbside?
There is not. There is not. So if you have 5 bags in your curbside recycle bin, then you can do so. Like I did last week when we got the couch. I put 5 Hefty bags in my curbside recycle bin. So there is no limit.
Okay.
But on like an average week, you're not gonna probably fill up more than one unless you're, getting something with a lot of packaging and whatnot.
And along with that, are you allowed to put, if you can't fit your orange bag fully in the recycle bin, are you
Yeah.
allowed to set it next to the recycle bin?
So we would prefer that you didn't.
Okay.
All of our drivers have been made aware
Mhm.
of the fact that if there is an orange bag outside of the bin, it should go with recycling. The problem is that it's almost impossible to stay ahead of. There's so many drivers. So and there are new drivers and drivers are retiring and things like that. So all of the drivers have been made aware that if the bag is outside, it goes with recycling, but we would prefer it stays in the bin. Yeah.
So Angie, maybe that's a better answer to your question. Try to be able to fit it in your bin.
Yeah.
And if not, then maybe save it for another week when you can fit it better in the
Yeah.
bin.
Yeah. Yeah. And like I said, the drivers have been made aware, but things happen. And so I don't want to give you like a definite, it's okay to put it out in the bin and then, or out of the bin and then it get picked up with trash. So just wanted to make you aware of that.
Okay,
Hope
thank
she
you
had a
so
good
much,
one.
everyone, for participating. We truly appreciate you putting in the effort
Yeah.
and the time to understand all of these different programs. I know it can get really overwhelming at times
Yeah.
and confusing. So if you have questions, please reach out.
Elisa and I kind of work hand in hand. So
Yeah,
just reach out to one of us and we'll be able to help you.
we don't work at the same place, but we see each other all the time.
We do the same
And
things. Yeah.
we do the same things. We're teaching everybody how to reduce their waste and
Yeah.
do it properly and
Yeah.
efficiently. So
We want to be a resource to you though. So if you do have questions, do not be scared to reach out. And we'll get those questions answered for you.
absolutely. Thank
Yep.
you, everyone. Have a great
Thanks,
day.
everyone.